Rachel Hansen was just starting her life when she was senselessly and tragically murdered. The person that killed Rachel is still out there, leaving her family with more questions than answers. This is episode 6, Gone Too Soon. Kim and Todd Hansen have been working diligently for the past 2 years to bring more awareness to Rachel's case. It's unfortunate that they still don't have answers, and they haven't received any support from the police through this investigation. Why is the Gilbert Police Department not working with her family? Now, I understand not wanting to jeopardize an investigation by sharing certain information, but there needs to be some kind of communication. Let me preface this by saying I am not against the detectives and the police departments that are involved in these investigations. But I do want to note that it's important to point out when an investigation is being mishandled and is not being properly investigated. Now, according to Kim and Todd, they haven't received any communication from the Gilbert Police Department since the initial investigation in 2022. Why have they seemingly dropped the ball on this case? The family deserves to have answers. Despite the current status of Rachel's case, there is something positive that has come out of this tragedy. One thing that Rachel always wanted was to start her own dog rescue. This was one dream of hers that was brought to life by her mother Kim in 2023. Kim started Rachel's Rescue in memory of her beloved daughter. Rachel's Rescue is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to rescuing neglected and abused animals. Kim currently runs Rachel's Rescue at their home in Gilbert, Arizona.
During COVID, Rachel and I together fostered for 3 or 4 different rescues because at that time we had 6 teenagers at home trying to do school online and, blowing up our internet and all of that. Life was not happy during COVID. We just decided to do something happy and rescue a mama dog, large breed, large litters that other people couldn't take. So she and I together did that for 3 or 4 different rescues and had different mama dogs and large litters and saw some things that we didn't agree with, didn't exactly like how other rescues did things. And so Rachel always said, Mom, let's just start our own rescue. Let's start a rescue together. And she even sat at the kitchen table and drew logos and was coming up with names and all these different things. And I kept that scrap paper but I told her, thank you for that vote of confidence, sweetheart, but absolutely not. I don't want to do the business side of things. I did not want to have to figure out how to do a 501 and C3 and do the taxes and do the paperwork and all the record keeping. I just wanted to rescue puppies. We never did that, but after we lost her, that first year of just trying to survive, the grieving process is just like nothing you would ever wish on your worst enemy. It's very, very hard and it's very, very real. And I never would have known that. After a year, I realized I had to do something to get my head back in the game. Like, I knew I was not okay. I was not okay for myself. I wasn't okay for our other kids in any way. There were days I didn't even remember what I did. or what day it was, or, I would drive somewhere and I'd stop and I'd be like, how did I get here? Why am I here? It was bad. And so I thought, I've got to do something to ground myself, because we don't have answers and we don't know when we're going to get answers, and I cannot survive like this. So I decided, June of 2023, actually got our 501 in June of 2023, and we officially started as Rachel's Rescue, because I wanted to do something that would honor her, something that she loved, and she wanted to start a rescue. So I knew this would be something that she could smile down on. And I needed to just have something to occupy my mind and my heart, my time, and everything, so that I was more grounded and not just spending so much time just pondering how and why, and this seems surreal, like she's going to walk in the door any minute. This kind of thing doesn't happen, especially in Gilbert. I had no idea how busy it would keep me. A little bit too busy, maybe at times. I have to kind of start to set some boundaries a little bit. But it's been so good, because I don't have the ability to spend all my time just dwelling on why don't we have answers? Why does the police department give up? Why are they not continuing to search? They are not, and I can't dwell on it. I just have to keep busy and just hope and pray and be positive that someday something will happen and we will have answers. But this keeps me busy. In the meantime, it's saving puppies, saving lives, and I know that Rachel is smiling down on us, and that this would make her very happy. This is what she wanted. She would be absolutely loving this. She would be doing all the things. She'd be saying, Mom, let me take these to my apartment. Let me help you out. She would come over and take some of the older, rowdier ones, active ones that we ended up with, and she would take them for a run. And because she was super active and healthy and fit, and she would take them out and run 4 or 5 miles with them and wear them out for me and come back. And so she would love this.
Rachel was an amazing, beautiful, and intelligent 19-year-old girl who was loved by so many. Despite her short time here on Earth, she made a positive impact on everyone that got the privilege of knowing her.
I was working and actually bringing my own girls with me, because I would have started my family at that time, but I went ahead and just continued to help Kim on a weekly basis and bring my kids, and so we would have these amazing play dates while I kind of babysat, I guess you would say. So Rachel was the same age as my middle, and the 3 girls, actually there was 4 of them as everything came along, it kind of came like just this instant group of friends for my girls. And so so basically it was through helping out Kim, through babysitting, and just going over there. And then all of our girls were basically within a year of each other, having spent multiple days a week together, became friends. And so we called it the instant party, because when my girls wanted to go do something or have a sleepover or something like that, all we had to do was stop by and pick up Kim's girls. And so between her girls and mine, we had an instant party of girls whenever she would come over to the house. And the girls always, these were little princesses that played dress up and played Barbies, and had all the the Polly Pockets and all the things. And so just her maturity at a young age, playing with my girls, it is a fun memory, just because she was always kind of the dominant one in the group, but also, fun loving and kind of like life of the party almost, even at a young age. As she got older and became what we kind of talk about as the horse whisperer, and became such an independent person, but with such a God-given gift with horses. And so it's more of a all-encompassing than that one moment, but it's just like watching her with horses is some of my favorite memories, because I've just never seen a young girl so connected to horses. And I think it was, therapy for her as much as she was for these, wild horses and things. But not that they were all wild, but, she did a lot of training and stuff. And so she had such a gift. So my favorite memory would be just watching her connect with horses.
Rachel was a very sweet, very kind, very generous, very loving person. She was full of life, had a lot of energy. She was very strong-willed, very ambitious. She talked to me about, she had recently gotten her real estate licenses, and she wanted to get into the realty career, specifically dealing with horse ranches and things like that. Rachel's life evolved around not only her family and friends, but around horses.
My favorite memory of Rachel has to be when she learned that Dash was pregnant. She was sitting on my table getting her lashes done, and she kept having her phone start ringing, and she had me check it every single time. And finally her mom called her, and she was like, "Hey, can you pick up the phone for me, put it on speaker? I think my mom might know what's going on with Dash, because the girl who took her to go get checked today hasn't called me." So I answered the phone, and her mom is like, "You will never guess what happened. Like, Dash is pregnant with twins." And she was like, "Oh my God, Dash is pregnant with twins. I was literally sitting here talking to my little brother the other day, thinking how crazy that would be for it to be her first pregnancy and to end up pregnant with twins." And she was so happy. She just about jumped off of my lash table. She was smiling so hard, and it was just the cutest and sweetest conversation that she had with her mom, and it just felt so wholesome in the moment. She was so excited, and then she was like, "Oh my gosh, she's pregnant with twins. Do you know how rare this is, Cheyenne?" And we just got into it, and we were talking about all of the different possibilities, and if she wanted Dash to have a boy or a girl, and like how excited she was to have her heart horse become a mama. It was definitely something. I was very, very, very excited for her in that moment. And I was so glad to be one of the first people to know, like, Dash was pregnant, and with such, like, a rare thing to happen. Dash has a beautiful little girl. Her name is Danny. The D is for Dash, and then Anne is for Rachel, because her name was Rachel Ann Hansen. They decided to give her part of Rachel's name, and then the Y in it is for the stud that Dash was bred to. Caring, passionate, and driven, I think, would be the three best words to describe her. She was definitely something. She was a force to be reckoned with. There was nothing that could stop her, and when it came to her love for animals especially, she just lit up. I still question it to this day, like what she meant in this. She came to me in a dream that I had one night, and it was in March of last year. And in this dream, she was walking up my driveway, and I was like, "What are you doing here? Like, I have so many questions." And she's like, "It's okay. I'm okay." And she was being so reassuring, and she was just so happy to be there. And so we went into my house, and we were talking. We were sitting on the couch, and we were talking in my dream. And I was like, "I have so many questions for you." And she was like, "And we have all the time in the world. But I promise you, I am okay. I promise." And I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "I want you to do something for me, Cheyenne." And I was like, I will literally do anything. What do you need me to do?" And she said, "I need you to go talk to my mom." And I said, "What do you need me to go talk to your mom about?" And she goes, "Just come to my mom's house and everything will make sense." And so in my dream, the next thing I know is I'm walking up to Kim's door, and I knock on it, and Kim is there with just the biggest smile, and she is so happy. And I'm like, "Is she here?" And Kim goes, "Yeah, Cheyenne, she's here." And you could just hear like the joy in her voice in my dream of being able to like see and talk to Rachel again. And so in my dream, we go into the backyard. And all of a sudden, this was like the weirdest part about it. There's like a fence that just emerges up and out of the ground, and everybody's standing behind this fence. And we all have this flyer in our hand, and it's got like the Guess Who picture of like a silhouette with a question mark in it. And I like nobody else knew who we were there to see. And then all of a sudden, the like fence, the gate, whatever it was, like comes back down and into the ground, and Rachel's just standing there absolutely beaming with the biggest smile on her face. And she was sitting there saying, she was like, I want you guys to know every person here means so much to me, and I want to be able to speak with all of you. But I want to pull Cheyenne first because there's some things that we need to talk about. And so we go and we're sitting in this little secluded area on a hammock, and we're just laying there together. And I'm like, so what do you want to talk to me about? And she says, I need you to visit my mom. Like, I need you to actually come to my mom's house and visit my mom, because altogether, with everything you guys have thought about, speculated, you guys know everything. And I was like, what do you mean I know everything? And she said, you and my mom know everything. And that's all I can tell you. I can't tell you who, I can't tell you how. I don't know, but you guys know. And I woke up and I had like tears in my eyes, and it was just like the craziest experience to have as a dream. Me and Kim, we sat at the kitchen table for quite a while, and we talked about everything. And it's just so frustrating that we potentially know, but we don't know who, we don't know what the circumstances were. We've speculated so much. We'll never truly know. The only person who truly knows is who did this. And until they come forward, like, we will never have the answers that we deserve to know for her. One day there will be. And I hope that day comes sooner rather than later, because this has not been an easy thing for very many people to deal with.
Rachel's memory will continue to live on through her family, friends, and the rescue created in her honor. Despite the lack of evidence in her case, there is someone out there that knows something. Someone knows who killed Rachel Hansen, and it's only a matter of time before the truth is revealed. The unseen truth. If you have any information about the murder of Rachel Hansen, please contact Silent Witness at 480-948-6377. You can also leave an anonymous tip at the Silent Witness website at silentwitness.org. The Unseen Truth is a Reignited Media production and is hosted and produced by me, Jen Rivera. Make sure to follow Unseen Truth Podcast on social media and visit unseentruthpodcast.com for more case information and future seasons. If you'd like to support the show, please consider liking and sharing this podcast. And if you're enjoying it, please consider giving it a 5-star review so we can continue to reach the masses, and I can continue my efforts in being a voice for the voiceless. And if you'd like to get more involved in helping families who have loved ones who are missing or have unsolved cases like the ones I cover here on The Unseen Truth, please visit shoresofstrength.org to learn more about the advocacy work behind this production and how you can help.